Hey, it's Dr. Ernst, host of the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. If you think that diabetes is something you have to live with for the rest of your life, think again. Recent research is now showing diabetes can be reversed in as little as 90 days when you stop looking at blood sugars, A1C, finger sticks, insulin, even GLP-1. All of that is chasing after the symptom. When instead, if you focus on the root cause, the nerve interference, the leaky gut, the toxicities, diabetes can go away in as little as 90 days. I've seen this happen hundreds of times with patients through the Ask Dr. Ernst program. And my question to you is this: would you like to shake the diabetes? Would you like your blood sugars to go back to normal? Drop your A1C to under 5.4 in as little as 90 days. If that's you, text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. I have an ebook that'll show you exactly what to do, and I have a master class Saturday, November 8th. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's 100% free. Just text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094.
Would you like to experience a better night's sleep? Want to feel well rested and ready for your day? Discover an amazing solution with Celliant Sleep Recovery. Our Celliant Sleep Recovery products are made from a patented yarn embedded with a blend of 13 infrared active minerals. Celliant technology never washes out. The benefits will last for their entire lifespan. Minerals reflect the body's own energy by using Celliant infrared active technology, boosting your oxygen levels and improving circulation to reach REM sleep gracefully. Our customers love to comfortably sleep throughout the night because of Celliant. We've conducted 9 independent clinical studies by well-respected scientific institutions and universities that prove the many positive effects Celliant has on the body. Our technology is designed to help you achieve a refreshing sleep recovery. Get into bed to experience our smooth Celliant Egyptian cotton blend sheets. Protect your mattress against the sands of time with our Celliant mattress protectors. With our pillow protectors, you get the benefits of our recovery therapy. Explore new places and feel well rested throughout your journeys. Discover luxurious support that allows you to sleep in almost any position. Neck blankets are small and compact. You can bring them with you just about anywhere. Experience the foundation your body deserves. Start waking up refreshed and always ready for the day ahead. It's time to achieve the best sleep of your life to unlock your hidden potential. Start experiencing a better night's sleep with our Celliant Sleep Recovery products today. Celliant. Recycle your body's energy.
Beyond wine, we really care about health. The health of the planet and the health of each other. That's what inspired us to start this business. Our family of team members meets every morning for a group meditation, followed by an open gratitude session. We believe a sound mind with a focus on peace is the best instrument for change. Joint meditation is the cornerstone of our company culture, and it helps us remember what's important, spreading joy and love, just like our family growers. Our family is a collection of passionate, health-conscious individuals who love to laugh and enjoy each other's company. We eat seasonally, grow our own vegetables, cook together, and share wine. Our team is incredibly dedicated to our mission. Everything from sourcing the wines to answering service questions. Your natural wines were found and sourced around the world by our wine team. They taste every one, oversee their lab testing, and choose exactly which ones go in which box. If you order, your individual box will be packed by our incredibly hardworking fulfillment team. If you have any questions, your service requests will be handled by a wonderfully loving member experience family who only have one goal in mind: your 100% happiness. This video is put together by our talented media team, filmed and edited in-house, just like the rest of our artful media. From our unique creations to our printed lifestyle piece called A Matter of Taste. We put love into everything we do, and we hope to share it with you.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Welcome to a transformative episode of the Ask Dr. Ernst show. My name is Dr. Ernst, and this is a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you get to be set free from your health problems. Yes, you heard me right. You get to be set free when you learn to become your own doctor. Today's episode is going to be epic. We're going to dive into a truth that affects 37 million Americans. It is diabetes and how it is not genetic, how it is not your diet. But we're not going to talk about the same thing you guys have heard before. In today's episode, we're going to expose the underlying real root causes that have to do with blood sugar dysfunctions. And I promise you, it has very little to do with how many cookies or cakes or pastas or just, the carbohydrate foods that you had last night, or the fact that your mom or your dad or your aunt or you have a family history of diabetes. We cannot keep believing the lie that you've inherited this condition because type 2 diabetes is known to be caused, not inherited. And I know you've been told for decades that diabetes is all about diet and genetics, and that it's the result of too many carbohydrates. And while there is some truth to the fact, yes, you need to lower your carbohydrate intake, what you haven't been told is that your body just doesn't malfunction because of the kind of diet you eat. There are powerful hidden factors. I want you to listen to this. Insulin resistance has a root in your hormones, in your gut, in your nervous system, even in the toxins that you've been exposed to. These truly are the foundational causes of diabetes, the real drivers, if you will, behind why your blood sugars are elevated. So today I'm going to reveal to you the top 5 shocking yet scientifically validated causes of diabetes. And it goes way beyond just diet and DNA. I'm talking about things like your stress hormones, your microbiome, your gut, environmental toxins, your nervous system, and even cellular energy failure, a mitochondrial breakdown that makes it so you can't physically burn sugar for energy. And guys, these aren't just like strange ideas. They're published in medical literature. They offer a radically different view to understanding how to reverse diabetes. And I have seen patients here locally and even across the US with our virtual programs break A1Cs in less than 90 days, get off of insulin injections and Mounjaros and Ozempics and Wegovias, radically transform their blood sugars, lose weight, break fatty liver. So, it's fully possible. And for those of you tuning in, if you're currently struggling with high blood sugar, pre-diabetes, or it's fully diagnostic type 2 diabetes, I'd like to speak directly to you for this moment. There is a tremendous amount of hope that can allow your body to regenerate and heal by itself. There is a better way. And the best part of this is you can take the control back yourself. It begins with you downloading the Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook. I have written a functional guide to helping you solve even type 1. We've seen insulin levels needing to be injected come way down. Type 2 diabetes, the classic insulin resistance, and unfortunately now the newer type 3 diabetes, the cognitive decline that comes with resistance of insulin and sugars in your brain. So if you want to grab this free ebook, text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. And don't forget, next Saturday, right? My God, it's already November. It's the 1st today, the 8th of November. I'm hosting a Diabetes Heal Thyself Masterclass. We already have over 700 people begging us to show them how to fix their diabetes. Why don't you join us? If you don't want to have to inject, if you don't want to have to finger stick, if you don't want to have to be worried about the long-term effects of having elevated blood sugars, high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, neuropathies, fatty liver, weight loss resistance, if you want to break free from that, there is an answer available to you. Why don't you grab the free ebook and join me for the masterclass and implement what we're going to teach you today? It's that simple. 704-906-2094. All we need is your name, your email, the word diabetes. Boom, the ebook is sent to you immediately. And then I'll see you next Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning, live on your computer. You don't even have to leave your house. You can still wear your pajamas if you want. Let me show you how to reverse diabetes in as little as 90 days. So let's begin our exploration. The first surprising root cause is a factor that most of us experience on a daily basis. The stressors that affect our life. And it's not just in your head, it's your blood, your hormones, and yes, your pancreas. They all respond to cortisolic stress response. So when we talk about stress, chronic, unrelenting stress, most people think it's about how they feel, like something that you either deal with or you just ignore it. I'm stressed out. But in functional medicine, we know that stress is biochemical. It triggers a full cascade of hormones, primarily through what's known as your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Don't get lost in the terminology, just know this. Your brain talks directly to your adrenal glands, and there is a cascade of cortisol, which is your primary stress response. When cortisol is elevated, it becomes the most potent blood sugar disruptor in your entire body. And here's why. Cortisol tells your liver to release sugar. Yes, you store sugar in your liver. And when you release this bloodstream push of sugar is designed to help you with a fight or flight response. And again, if you're being chased by a tiger or a bear and you need to run up a tree and you need all that extra energy to do it, that's a good thing. But if you're stuck in traffic, fighting with your spouse, or you're overwhelmed with work deadlines and emails, chronic elevated cortisol increases blood sugar, which will cause your pancreas to react and increase insulin, which means eventually, because of the constant stimulation, your cells stop listening to insulin, and then boom, we start to develop diabetes and prediabetes. It's like knocking on a door, but nobody ever answers. So you keep knocking, and eventually you're like, you know what, forget it. So one of the key reasons why people under stress tend to have a tremendous amount of elevated fasting blood sugars is because cortisol is driving that. Now think about this. If you're taking medications for type 2 diabetes, has your doctor ever tested you for your cortisol levels? Because if you lower cortisol, sugar comes down. Studies show that cortisol does not only raise glucose, but it shuts off the ability for your pancreas to actually produce insulin in the longer term. In a 2015 study in the Journal of Diabetology, it's the study of the cause of diabetes, they found that individuals that had a perceived stress response, they felt like they were stressed out, had a 45% increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, no matter what their diet was, no matter what their weight was. That's how powerful cortisol is. It sabotages your metabolism and your function and basically shuts down your sugar reaction. It also affects your sleep. It affects your gut. It affects your immune system. So pretty soon, this stress-feeding cycle becomes an effect where it raises your blood sugar. It affects your sleep. It starts to break down your blood pressure. And the kicker is most people with high cortisol never, ever realize that it's happening because they're usually so used to being under stress all the time. So in functional medicine, we're going to look at cortisol in addition to insulin and blood sugar, because what we often find is that those people who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, there is a specific cortisolic map where in the morning, super high elevated cortisol, at night, super low cortisol, exactly the opposite of the way it should be. This misalignment is why most diabetics feel tired all the time. It's not just about sugar, it's about cortisol. So remember, you cannot reverse type 2 diabetes unless you address your stress response and your cortisol. Because you could eat all the kale you want. You could take all the medications in the world. But if your stress hormones are off balance, your blood sugars will remain chaotic and out of balance. This is why a lot of people say, oh, I switched to this awesome diet, but my blood sugars aren't going down. Think cortisolic stress. Okay, surprising cause number 2, dysbiosis and leaky gut. Next on the list is the fact that your gut has way more to do with your blood sugars than a lot of us give it credit to. Your intestines, a condition of your intestinal lining where the bacteria that live in your colon can either protect you or they can actively cause insulin resistance. What we now know is this: your gut is not just a digestive organ. It is a metabolic command center, and when it becomes imbalanced, your entire system pays a price. Hey, inside the Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook, I have an entire chapter on dysbiosis, your gut, and how to solve and fix your blood sugars by addressing your cortisol and by addressing your digestive system. It's completely free for you to grab this ebook, which is a guide to help you reverse your elevations in blood sugar and A1C and diabetes. So grab it now. Text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Ebook is yours free. And again, the masterclass, it's already filling up. We just had about 45 people text in the last 10 minutes. So evidently, there are a lot of listeners who are going, yep, I need my blood sugars to come down. So why don't you join this crew of people that we have joining us next Saturday for the masterclass, and let me show you how to lose 20 or 30 pounds quickly and effortlessly. Let me show you how to lower your blood sugars and reset your A1C in as little as 90 days. It's all free. We just need your name and email. 704-906-2094. Hey, I'm sure you know this. Your gut holds what's called your microbiome. It's all the bacteria in your intestines. These microbes are responsible for digesting fiber, regulating your immune system, producing neurotransmitters, but most importantly, talking with your metabolism. So in a healthy gut, bacteria will keep your inflammation low. They'll maintain the insulin sensitivity. But in an unhealthy gut, what is known as dysbiotic or leaky gut, the bad bacteria start to take over. One of the most dangerous aspects is what's known as a lipopolysaccharide. Another big word, but guess what? LPS. Google it. LPS, lipopolysaccharides and diabetes. You're going to be flooded with all these connections between high levels of lipopolysaccharides in your blood, high levels of likelihood of developing type 2 diabetes, or even having it. And the reason is, once lipopolysaccharides, which are basically tiny bacterial particles, when they get into your bloodstream, because your gut's leaking, it triggers a full-blown inflammatory response. Your immune system goes into what's known as attack mode, and the inflammation interferes with insulin receptors, thus making them less receptive. So this process has been documented in the journal Diabetes and being shown to be the driving factor of insulin resistance in both animal models and even in human models. What makes it worse is that a lot of diabetics are walking around with a leaky gut and they don't even know it. This isn't just symptoms of bloating and gas and food sensitivities, but it's the conventional method of how your body communicates with your liver and with your pancreas. So how do we look for this? Well, we use stool testing and food sensitivity panels and biological markers to measure the integrity and the bacterial balance. And here's what I've seen time and time again. Patients that come into our clinic that are looking to solve type 2 diabetes, 90 to 95% of them test positive for a gut disruption or a leaky gut. And it's not a coincidence. It is a known connection. If you heal the gut and you restore the lining integrity, insulin resistance and sensitivity starts to improve. Again, I want to let that sink in for you. Your gut is not just a system that digests food. It's how your blood sugar is regulated. It's how your immune system is controlled. It's how your metabolism functions. So when your gut is physically inflamed, then your entire body becomes affected, and inflammation is the seed of diabetes, period. The more inflamed you are, the more likely you are to develop type 2 diabetes. Third cause, environmental toxins and heavy metals. So I want to turn our attention now to something more controversial, but it's critical that you understand this. Environmental toxins, these are things like hidden chemicals, heavy metals, industrial byproducts, all the things that we're exposed to every single day by the air we breathe and the water we drink and the food we eat. Even the personal care products you use, deodorants and shampoos and toothpaste and just all the stuff. Most of them are unregulated, very few of them are tested, and almost every single one of them contains what's known as an endocrine disrupting tissue, or a compound, if you will. An EDC, as they're called, endocrine disrupting compounds. These include things like bisphenol A, pesticides like glyphosate, flame retardants, phthalates, which are often found in cosmetic products, heavy metals, arsenic, mercury, cadmium. These toxins interfere with the hormone receptors. They damage mitochondria in the body, and they increase a tremendous amount of oxidative stress. So a landmark study, I want you to listen to this, was published in the Environmental Health Perspectives. They found that individuals that had high levels of phthalates in their blood had 2 times the likelihood of developing diabetes. Another study in The Lancet estimated that environmental chemicals are responsible for 25% of diabetic diagnoses. Guys, that's massive. So you have a 25% chance that if you have high blood sugars and high A1C, again, not your genetics, not your diet, but the toxicity in your body robbing you of the potential to reset your blood sugars. So it's not sugars, it's not genetics, it's not diet, it's exposure to toxins. And these are things that have been warned about for long periods of time. We've been trying to remove bisphenol A. We've been trying to get rid of mercury. So even though we're removing these toxins, they're still prevalent in the products that many of us use, or the fact that they've been in your body for years. Here's how it works functionally. Most of these toxins mimic estrogen, or they mimic the binding nature of insulin to the receptors. They interfere with thyroid. They disrupt insulin signaling. If you overload the liver due to high levels of toxicity and you impair mitochondrial function, what happens is low-grade chronic inflammation starts to run rampant in the human body. Over time, this creates a metabolic storm that can lead to pre-diabetes, elevated fasting blood sugars, but an A1C less than 6.4, but higher than normal. And eventually it can turn into full-blown type 2 diabetes. The scariest part is these chemicals are everywhere. So how do we address this functionally? Well, number one, we start by testing toxic burden. I know you probably never had this done before, but I'm telling you, it's the greatest test you can ever have to find out how much stuff is in your body. So we look for heavy metals through hair tests. We look at urinary organic acids to tell us for things like pesticides and glyphosates. I've seen hundreds of diabetics with high levels of cadmium from being exposed to cigarette smokes, or arsenic from eating large amounts of rice and corn-fed proteins. Bisphenol A from the plastics that we're constantly surrounded with. And when you clear the toxins, your insulin levels can start to drop and your blood sugars can start to improve drastically. So here's the wake-up call for most of you. Your environment is shaping your metabolism more than your genetics. You can't ignore the chemical burdens of your body that's carrying around. If you want to reverse diabetes naturally, detoxing is not optional. It's absolutely essential. And again, inside the Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook, I have some basic guides to begin a detox process right now. And if you join us on the 8th of November, which is next Saturday, we'll go even deeper into showing you which tests you can get at your house that you can actually look and find out how toxic you are. Simply text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Again, if you've been struggling with elevated blood sugars, elevated A1C, and even with your medications and your diet changes, you're not seeing normal good readings, less than 100 for your blood sugars when fasting, A1Cs less than 5.5, then this is your chance to unlock your body's ability to reset type 2 diabetes. Simply text your name, your email, and the word diabetes to 704-906-2094. The masterclass is next Saturday at 10 a.m., and the ebook is yours free today, right now. Okay, surprising cause number 4. Subluxation within your spine and nervous system. Usually when we talk about diabetics, most people think of sugar, diet, and genetics like we talked about before. But very few people understand the profound role that your nervous system plays in your blood sugar regulation. The spine is not just a column of bones. I want you to think of it as a protective armor around the central nervous system, which is your body's massive master communication pathway. Every single organ in your body, including your pancreas and your liver, which are the two primary regulators of sugar, receive signals from your brain through your spinal cord over the nerves. So if the vertebrae that protect the spine get out of alignment, creating what is called a subluxation, the shifting can put a compressive force on the nerves, thus irritating organ function. And this isn't just conjecture, guys. The pancreas, which produces insulin, receives its primary nervous supply from thoracic spine regions 5 through 9, in the middle of your back. A subluxation in this area can distort signals from the brain to the pancreas, much like static on a phone or like interference in a microphone. If I turn my gain down, you won't hear us. The brain could be sending the correct message, make insulin, but the signal doesn't get to the pancreas, and so what happens is it either over or underproduces. And again, it typically overproduces because it's a irritative subluxation. The sympathetic system is on overdrive, so the pancreas is hypersecreting, and we have high levels of insulin, which leads to insulin resistance. Beyond just that, your liver plays a massive role. The nerves controlling your liver exit, again, from the same regions, mid-thoracic spine, but also primarily the upper cervical vagal nerves. So it creates a cycle of, if you have subluxation of your spine, misalignment and irritation of the nervous system, it can go hidden for years. Chronic subluxations can trigger a response of heightened sympathetic nervous response. Think of it as perpetual fight or flight, which leads to elevated cortisol, and now we see the whole effect that we just talked about before. What we label as metabolic syndrome or even type 2 diabetes can in fact be a neurological haywire, a signal disruption of how the nervous system is stuck in a chronic stress mode, unable to balance itself. So in short, it is possible that some of your sugar elevations could be coming from a subluxation and the interference in the internal dialogue, the conversation between your brain and your organs. By connecting the spine back to its normal pattern, chiropractic care can help to restore neurological signals, or clarity, if you will, which removes the irritative signaling. And conventional medicine will often overlook this by saying, well, no, the spine has nothing to do with blood sugar regulation or with A1C or with liver functionality. But when you look at the actual design of the human body, you need signals from your brain going to every single organ in your body. And you cannot have normal, healthy organ function with a spine that's out of alignment. Surprising cause number 5, mitochondrial dysfunction, or what I term cellular energy collapse. I've got like 2 minutes before a commercial break comes up, so if we don't get all the way through this, I will continue it in part 2. But the best part of the second half of our show is I'm going to show you how to take each of these 5 and implement a corrective process. How do we solve the challenges of our elevated insulin and cholesterols? How do we fix a leaky gut? How do we deal with toxicity? How do we get the spine unlocked so your energy starts to flow? Think of your mitochondria as like engines. The fuel that runs them, fats and proteins and carbs, when it's working perfectly, you get a really clean energy burn. The challenge with sugar is that your mitochondria usually cannot metabolize them properly. So you start to pump in lots of waste products and you need more insulin to make it work. So over time, it leads to what's known as cellular burnout. And that can lead to insulin resistance. One of the biggest culprits behind mitochondrial dysfunction is oxidative stress. And here's the thing. All the other 4 aspects I talked to you about cause oxidative stress. So toxicity causes oxidative stress. Stress responses with elevated cortisol cause oxidative stress. Leaky gut causes oxidative stress. Subluxation causes oxidative stress. So all of the oxidative stressors shut off mitochondrial function, and thus you have to increase the amount of insulin you need to push more sugar in to try to make that engine work better. And it doesn't just happen to diabetics. In 2008, a study was published in Nature Medicine found that the mitochondrial content and the efficiency of people with type 2 diabetes is severely reduced. It's as if your miles per gallon is just broken. So you have to constantly keep refueling your engine. And if you think about it, that's why we're hungry all the time and why we need to constantly drive for more insulin. So there you have it, guys. We just talked about the top 5 reasons that functionally we can build diabetes. So now let's talk about deconstructing that. When I come back from this commercial break, how to reverse type 2 diabetes using these 5 steps. And take a moment right now and text the word diabetes plus your name and email to grab our ebook and join us for the masterclass next Saturday at 10 a.m. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Wine is a fermented beverage that has been enjoyed by humanity for over 8,000 years. Our ancestors believed in its magical healing powers. Wine has been a well-studied part of our history, but recently it's changed. The wines sold today in most stores and restaurants are not the same wines enjoyed by our ancestors. Today, wine is a highly processed, factory-made product filled with toxins and industrial additives. The grapes are farmed with machines and heavy pesticide use, and the marketing is misleading and dishonest. Wines free from this human intervention still exist. They're called natural wines. These wines are a return to the old way of making and enjoying wine. Free from commercial additives, high sugar, and heavy alcohol content, these wines are a beautiful expression of nature. They're also extremely rare. Less than 1% of the world's wines are grown to this standard. They're made in hyper-small quantities by family farmers who work by hand using ancient practices. This is the kind of wine that derive from wine sources. We search the globe looking for pure natural wines, carefully nurtured by family growers who work with nature, and we take it a step further, sourcing wines that meet our strict criteria for farming, purity, and taste. We only work with organically grown wines, farmed without irrigation and without heavy machinery. Grapes are hand-picked and then fermented using native wild yeast, not the industry-standard GMO yeasts. Our wines are pure, lab-tested by an independent enologist for metrics including alcohol and sugar. They also taste extraordinary, bright, fresh, and full of life. They jump out of the glass because they aren't sterilized or heavily processed.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Hey, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you get to be set free from your health problems. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst, and hey, if you're just tuning in, today we've been diving into the hidden functional causes of type 2 diabetes and the 5 things you can do right now to start lowering your blood sugar, resetting your A1C, losing weight, getting your energy back. And the greatest thing of this, it is far beyond just diet and a genetic aspect. In segment 1, we expose the truth of the 5 silent saboteurs of your insulin, blood sugars, and your A1C. Chronic stress, gut dysbiosis, toxic overload, neural subluxation, and mitochondrial dysfunction. If you missed it, now is your chance to text over the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Grab the new ebook, Diabetes Heal Thyself. It's absolutely free for you today, and it gives you access to the masterclass, which I am hosting next Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning. It's 100% free. We're going to show you how to break free from type 2 diabetes, lowering A1C, lowering your blood sugars, no longer having to worry about sticking your fingers or injecting yourself or swallowing medications. Right now, it is time to shift the revelations that we've given to restoration. How do you solve this? We're going to go from insight now into action, because as you know, the cause is just half the battle. The real power comes when you actually take an actionable step about it. So I'm going to give you functional, natural solutions to each of those 5 surprising causes. And let me say this as we get started, right? You are not broken. Your body is not your enemy. It is fearfully and wonderfully created. It wants to heal. When you remove the interference and you restore function, your body will do what it is designed to do. That's the premise of functional medicine, holistic healthcare. And I want this message to go out to every single one of you who's diabetic or pre-diabetic or has been told that there's nothing that you can do other than take a medication or an injection. It is possible, and it is probable when you follow the right plan. So what we're going to talk about is not quick fixes. They're not Band-Aids. These are time-tested, science-backed methods that will help you reverse your root system. Each solution addresses the 5 causes we just discussed. And remember, you don't have to implement everything overnight. Start with whatever resonates the most with you. Take one step at a time, but just remember, consistency is key. So how do we get started? I would highly recommend you begin by doing one thing. Download the Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook. It has an entire functional guide inside here for you, specific. It's free. Simply text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. You'll get the ebook for free, and then I would carve out an hour and a half of your time next Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm going to show you the testing. I'm going to show you the 3 steps so you can implement to start it immediately, and then know that it begins with resetting your cortisol. To reverse cortisol-driven insulin resistance, you must first regulate your stress response. One of the most effective ways to do this is to start daily breath work and meditation. Listen, just 5 to 10 minutes of focused breathing in the morning can help you lower your cortisol levels, increase your heart rate variability, calm your nervous system down. And I want to talk to you today about something called box breathing. It is known as 4-7-8. It is a inhalation method where you hold your breath, just breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold that as long as you can, up to 6 or 7 seconds, and then exhale for a pattern of 4 seconds and repeat this cycle. Simple diaphragmatic breathing is very effective. And guys, the best thing is this kind of box breathing pattern. Inhale for 4, hold for 6 or 7, exhale for 4, hold for 6 or 7, inhale for 4. This is completely free. The second strategy is to implement the use of adaptogenic herbs. I want to talk to you about things like ashwagandha and rhodiola and holy basil. These herbs can help to naturally normalize your cortisol, reduce your anxiety, and even enhance mental clarity. And they've been shown in clinical studies to lower blood levels of cortisol and actually improve insulin sensitivity. Ashwagandha, rhodiola, and holy basil. You'll find most adrenal adaptogenic supplements will have these in them. Another thing you can do is as soon as it starts to become bright outside, which yes, I realize it's November, and yes, I realize we have less light now, but the moment you start to see the sun, get your eyes outside, get your body outside. Natural sunlight within 30 minutes of you just being exposed to it signals your brain to release serotonin, which will suppress melatonin, reset your circadian cycle, and it helps your cortisol to lower. And this is, again, something almost nearly 100% free. Additionally, I would recommend you start implementing what are called digital boundaries. Turn off all those constant notifications on your phone. Say no to unnecessary commitments. Use journaling as a way to resolve your thoughts or the things that are constantly on your mind. Remember, stress isn't just about what's happening to you. It's about how your body is holding on to things. And consider getting some testing done to, again, find what your cortisolic map looks like. We use a 24-hour urine hormone profile so we can actually map for you what's your cortisol like in the morning, what is it like in the afternoon, what is it like in the evening. And these cortisolic maps help us to see where your stress response is happening during the day, and it helps us to localize and find out what's causing the underlying cortisolic lift. So it's not just about reducing your stress, it's about changing your routines and your metabolism to help you adapt to your stress response. Solution number 2. Remember we talked about leaky gut? So if you want to restore insulin sensitivity and make it so you're less insulin resistant, the best thing you can do is to start with what's called a 5R approach. Remove, replace, re-inoculate, repair, and rebalance. The first thing is to remove the irritants that cause damage to your gut in the first place. I'm going to say this just blanketly. Gluten, dairy, seed oils, and even processed sugars. These foods damage your gut lining and they promote leaky gut, setting the stage for what's known as systemic inflammation. Second, now that we've removed those irritating foods, we need to replace the missing components of your digestive system. Most people with type 2 diabetes have very low stomach acid, pancreatic enzyme deficiencies, or even bile flow blockages. All of these are critical for you to be able to digest and absorb your food. So the replacement is to start taking a digestive enzyme. It supports hydrochloric acid, it supports digestion and nutrient uptake. Without good digestion, you can't absorb the nutrients you need to heal. So one of the greatest, simplest things you can do, remove the foods that irritate, add a digestive enzyme when you start eating your foods. Third is we need to re-inoculate the microbiome and the beneficial bacteria in your intestines. Can you use probiotics for this? Yes, but it's way better if you eat fermented foods, kimchis and sauerkrauts and drinking kombuchas and all of those pre-fermented food products. What you'll find is that inside your body, these bacteria will create a layer, sort of a blanket or a protection to prevent the lipopolysaccharides from leaking across the membrane and igniting that inflammatory response we talked about. So again, sauerkraut and kimchis and kefirs can all be very helpful with re-inoculating your colon. Fourth is we now need to repair the gut lining. And often what will do this is certain amino acids and certain key nutrients. Glutamine, by far, has been shown to be one of the greatest sealants of a leaky gut. And the best source of glutamine is from raw bone broth. So drinking bone broth can help to seal your gut. Taking glutamine as a supplement, it's a clear, it's a white powder that when you stir into water, it becomes a clear beverage. You can just drink glutamine and it can help to seal your intestines. Zinc is also another great one, and collagen peptides, which can help again with the repair of your lining. All of these are nutrients that soothe down inflammation. They help to reduce immune overdrive, and they're essential for helping you to stabilize your blood sugars. Lastly, we need to rebalance. Okay, so I want you to think about long-term management of your gut. So we have to manage stress. We have to make sure we're getting the gut moving and that your bowels are clearing themselves, that you're sleeping well enough. When you heal your gut, you will reduce inflammation, which improves insulin sensitivity and helps to restore your entire body function. Often what you'll find is it is the missing link between activating weight loss, helping you to regain your energy, turning down your A1C and your blood sugars, all without medications. So there's the 5R step process of repairing your gut lining. And again, if you're going, phew, you went kind of fast, Dr. Ernst, how am I supposed to get this all? Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook is yours free. It has the steps and the techniques that you need inside of it. Just simply text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094 and we'll send it to you today. And we'll also register you for the masterclass next Saturday at 10 a.m. Okay, detoxification. We have to hit that third functional cause. Detoxing from environmental toxins like heavy metals is the third way to support your body's ability to start resetting blood sugars and insulin. Remember, your liver and your kidneys and your colon are primary detox organs. First, we want to enhance liver detoxification. And you can do this by using things like milk thistle or N-acetylcysteine or alpha lipoic acid. These nutrients help to upregulate the liver's ability to tag and eliminate toxins. Second, we need to make sure that you're actually physically clearing your bowels out. A sluggish colon reabsorbs toxins. And one way to know if your colon is sluggish is just how many times you eat in a day is how many times you should go in a day. So if you're doing 3 meals a day, you should be going 3 times a day. And a lot of people will say, oh, yeah, I go once a day, though I eat 3 meals a day. Use magnesium citrate, psyllium husk. These are all great things that can help to get your bowels moving. Stay hydrated. Put a little bit of Himalayan salt in some water and drink at least 5 20-ounce glasses of slightly salted water. It helps your bowels to be hydrated and helps them to be removed. And you can also use binding agents to trap toxins, get them out of your body. Activated charcoal is a great one. Bentonite clay, another great one. Fulvic acids and chlorellas, another great one. These will bind and grab toxins and help to escort them out of your body. So the bottom line, can you repair your detox pathways to help you regenerate and get your insulin levels down, your cortisol levels down, your blood sugar levels down? Yes. And it's not just something that is a luxury for you to do. It is a full-blown requirement because, again, according to the research, 25% of people that are type 2 diabetic have an elevated toxicity interfering with their receptors, thus causing it. It is now termed toxin-induced insulin resistance. If you notice the terminology, induced means a creation. It is the cause of the diabetes because of the toxins being present. So the bottom line is you cannot heal diabetes when you're toxic. That's the power of cleansing your body out. And again, if you're looking for the techniques or the products that can help you to do this detoxification, the Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook is yours free. This is your last chance to get it, knowing that next Saturday is our masterclass. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning, so I'm going to encourage you to download the ebook and join us for the event. Just simply text your name, your email, and the word diabetes to 704-906-2094. Okay, solution number 4. Optimize your spine and nervous system. We talked earlier at the top of the hour about how subluxation is an interference in the communication of your brain through your nervous system to the organs that are involved in your blood sugar regulation, pancreas, liver, and gut. The truth is, chiropractic is so much deeper than just neck pain, back pain, and headaches. Honestly, restoring spinal function and enhancing your nervous system will help to regulate every organ, every gland, and every tissue in your body. Subluxations, which are misalignments of the spine, interfere with the communication network, your nervous system. This is what God put inside of you as a way for everything to talk to each other. So when a subluxation affects the region controlling your pancreas or your liver, it disrupts how your brain tells those tissues to work. And that, my friends, is where chiropractic becomes one of the most powerful, overlooked methods of helping to regulate sugars and insulin. So let's start with the basic physiology of this. Your pancreas has a dual role. It releases digestive enzymes, which we talked about earlier. You need that for a healthy gut. And it produces insulin. The cells themselves respond to the sugar in your blood, so they secrete insulin based on how much sugar is in your blood. But what happens is if the nervous system signal is being irritated, then that signal says to the pancreas, make more insulin even if there isn't the blood sugar to compensate for that. And that can lead to blood sugar swings, fatigue, and eventually insulin resistance. We know for a fact that the mid-thoracic spine, T5 through T9, controls the pancreas and the liver zones, and that is where most people complain of that nagging mid-back pain that they just can't seem to get rid of. And if we bring the liver into conversation, it's the warehouse of your sugars. It stores sugar in the form of glycogen. It releases it between your meals to help keep your blood sugar stable. So again, if your spine is irritated from a subluxation and it's in a sympathetic state of overdrive, your liver starts to hypersecrete sugar, which is why some people say, well, my sugars are elevated even when I'm not doing anything. I'm not eating sugar, it's still going up. That's a sign of a subluxation within your spine. As a result, glucose release can become erratic. The liver's detoxification of insulin starts to shut down because your liver is supposed to break down insulin, and it sets the stage for fatty liver disease and for insulin resistance. So chiropractic subluxations, removing them can help you to address an underlying root system. By correcting subluxations in the middle of your back, you restore proper nerve signaling from your brain to your pancreas and to your liver. And so when the nerve interference is removed, your body's natural ability to regulate returns. Now the pancreas senses and responds to glucose fluctuations properly. The liver can manage glycogen and release it properly. And insulin sensitivity can start to normalize. And I don't want you just to think that I'm saying this. A study published in the Journal of Vertebral Subluxation Research showed measurable improvements in blood sugar levels with people following chiropractic care. So think about this. They came in, they had their sugars tested, and they were wherever they were. They got an adjustment, and they started to drop. Nothing with diet changes, nothing with lifestyle changes, just simply adding chiropractic care to the routine. Another study in the Journal of Manipulative Physiotherapies found that patients with type 2 diabetes often experience reductions in fasting glucose and improved peripheral nerve function following chiropractic care. These findings support the concept that spinal health directly affects metabolic control and neural regulation of your pancreas, your liver, and even your adrenal glands to help lower down cortisol. Even your gut. So do you see this? The same 5 things we talked about. Elevated cortisol, that can come from subluxation. Leaky gut can come from subluxation. Toxicity, liver dysfunction can come from subluxation. Ultimately, blood sugar balance is not just your diet or your exercise. It is a neurological process rooted in communication between your brain, your spine, and your organs. So by maintaining a healthy spinal alignment, it ensures that your pancreas and liver receive clear, uninterrupted messages, and it allows them to perform their roles without interference. This is the core philosophy behind chiropractic. Is chiropractic care a cure for diabetes? No. It removes subluxation of the spine, and your body then innately sends the signals to the tissues that regulate it, allowing for them to work the way they were created. So when you reconnect your brain, your pancreas, and your liver through chiropractic care, you awaken the innate intelligence that helps to regulate and return your body's metabolic balance back to normal. We've seen this happen over and over and over again, and I cannot stress how important this is. It is probably, with a shadow of a doubt, nearly 100% likelihood that you have some connection between your spine and your condition if you have diagnostic criteria. If you've been labeled type 2 diabetic and you're using metformin or glucophage or insulin or the new GLP-1s and all this stuff people are using today, you have an extremely high likelihood that there is a subluxation connection, and you should highly start looking into that. How do you do that? All the resources in the Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook. Join us for the masterclass next Saturday, and I'll show you how you can get tested for subluxations simply and easily. Okay, step number 5, it's the final one, optimizing mitochondrial health and increasing your energy. I mean, think about it. So many people want more energy today. When you restore mitochondrial function, you have to start addressing toxicity. So we've already discussed to some degree how we can start enhancing our detox pathways. But I'm going to give you some key components that will turn your mitochondria on. CoQ10, carnitine, alpha lipoic acid, and magnesium malate. These are all essential needed nutrients for you to generate energy. These compounds support the electron transport chain, they reduce oxidative stress, and they physically turn the cells of your body on. If you pair that with intermittent fasting, which is holding off on eating foods for 16 or 18 hours a day, your body can activate various pathways that help to stimulate your mitochondria and clean them out. You may have even heard about how cold exposure therapies, cold showers or cryotherapies, cold thermogenesis has been shown to increase mitochondrial function, and it boosts norepinephrine, which is needed for you to burn fat and increase your insulin sensitivity. So it could just be, hey, you know what? Turn that shower down to the coldest setting you can have for the next 20 or 30 seconds of the last part of your shower. Give yourself a little bit of a shock and watch as your mitochondria start turning themselves back on again. You can start adding high-intensity interval training to your weekly routine. Short bursts of intense exercise followed by rest has been proven to enhance mitochondrial function. It is more effective than long-term cardio workouts. So just imagine 10 to 20 minutes. That's all it takes. 2 to 3 times a week can profoundly make a difference in your mitochondrial engines. And lastly, red light therapy is another innovative way. Photomodulation using 660 and 800 nanometer wavelengths of red light can help to naturally stimulate your mitochondria, reduce inflammation, and start accelerating regenerative repair. This is why this red light therapy and red light beds and red light mats and all this stuff is so popular right now today, because remember, your cells want to make energy. They just need the interference removed and the raw materials provided. So when you optimize mitochondrial function, you get better blood sugars. So there you have it, guys, the 5 root causes of diabetes from functional perspectives and the 5 natural strategies. Where are they summarized for you quickly so you can start implementing it now in the Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook? Grab it for free. Simply text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. And I highly encourage you, next Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning, carve out an hour and a half of your time. I have a live Q&A one-on-one event. All you have to do is let us know your name, your email, texted to 704-906-2094, and we'll get you into the masterclass and give you the ebooks, because everything we covered today, from cortisol to your gut, to your microbiome, to your detox, to your spine, and even your mitochondria, these are the foundational pillars that I promise you, when you implement them, will help your body to heal by itself. You don't need a medical degree. You just need the truth and the tools. If you're looking for assistance, that's what we're here for. That's why the classes are free, so we can show you, go get these tests. Let's talk about what the results mean, and let's implement a protocol custom and specific to you. Remember, healing is a process. Start with just a tiny action, which is downloading the ebook. Read through it and start implementing some of the protocols I gave to you. Join us for the masterclass next Saturday, and then what you'll see is in the next 3 months. So by the turn of 2026, your blood sugars will start to be better, your energy will start coming back, your body will start functioning better, and you can begin to heal. Until next time, this is Dr. Aaron Ernst reminding you, your health is your greatest wealth. May you be blessed and empowered and inspired to take charge of your health, because the best doctor of all is the one within you. Text the word diabetes plus your name and email to 704-906-2094, and I will see you next Saturday for the masterclass and for the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Be blessed. See you guys then.